Hey, welcome back to the channel. So by now you probably know we got Professor X, duped him. I've taken him to R2. Not going to show you the rank ups. No one likes seeing that. Um, he's pretty awesome. This is an initial look. You've seen the damage. Clearly he can do it. I wanted to take a look at his reverse controls and his ability to prevent miss and evade and see what kind of damage can he still do while utilizing that utility. Is it real? Is it practical? Is it something we're going to be able to do? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And let's get to the show. All right, so this is a pretty much fresh out of the box. I ranked him up immediately. I really was excited about this guy. I was so pumped up that we got him. If you somehow missed it, I will link the final hunt, the final day's hunt. There was 3. It was a lot. Where we got the dupe. It's pretty exciting. But anyways, let's move on. So this is one of my favorite lanes to test reverse controls, Delirium. So it's 6.3.1 Delirium. It's the one where it ends in the Do You Bleed Medusa boss. He's just naturally immune to reverse controls. So Delirium or anything like that, I know there's a couple different ways that can be applied in game. He's just immune to it. It's beautiful. It's great. It allows you just to play completely as you normally would. At this point, I'm still kind of trying to figure out how to play him, or at least how to maximize him. These health pools were relatively large, so I wanted to make sure I got to the SP3 to get that initial prowess and then go from there. You'll see most of the time you are able to cycle through the specials. Now, I want to address this in the very beginning. I'm aware of the video showing him with the power back boost. I'm going to wait for a total surefire, this is what I think about the champion, until we get some sort of confirmation from Kabam that is working as intended. I know it was even mentioned in the video that they ended up saying that I guess Namor doesn't work with the power back boost when he's in that phase. So when Professor X is in the mind control phase, it appears as though it could give you the ability to cycle SP3s, and I don't want to go there yet. Let's wait until that gets confirmed. At least that's what I'm advising. And here's the thing. I think he's pretty great even without it. I think that would push him into a whole nother tier of play. But I think even without it, you're seeing the damage that he can do here. Where, as I said, at this point when I filmed this, I was still kind of in the initial learning stages with him of how you got into the mind control and the benefits of it. It is pretty amazing. I think for the most part, unless you're just going for the kill right away, you do want to get yourself into the mind control, which means either throw in the special once you have 100 of those channeling charges, or using that 4th light attack. Once you've gotten 50 of them, you can use that 4th light attack at the end of the combo, and you'll enter the mind control. You see, we've entered it here. Diablo's not going to gain any power, and he's not able to throw his specials. So even with some initial, this is some definitely rookie Professor X play. You saw how quickly the fight went down and it was over. I did decide to go ahead and take the next fight with him with this Gilly 90, not Gilly 99, regular old Gilly. You're going to get another look at how that's going to go. Now, because we do have a Cerebro charge, you get the Cerebro charge from winning a fight. When we get to that SP3, we're going to get 2 prowesses. So he is a bit of a ramp up, and I wanted to see that too. My initial fear with him, and I think it was K21 who initially came out with this analogy, was is he going to be more Nick Fury or is he going to be more Mr. Fantastic? Mr. Fantastic's a fine champion. I think he's a premium level champion. You get him, you should be happy. You're going to have uses for him. Nick Fury's a game account changing champion, right? As a horseman, and he can do so many different things. And both of them have incredible synergies that make other champions significantly better or can totally change the way you take a lane or a fight. Professor X clearly has those synergies. Which one is he going to be? Or is he going to be somewhere in the middle? I don't think he's going to be Mr. Fantastic. I'm impressed enough. I'm seeing enough. You see, I'm building up the power in the opponent. That will make the prowess we get from this SP3 even more powerful. Additionally, because we have the 2 Cerebro charges, we're now going to get 2 prowesses afterwards, which will of course boost our special attack damage. So let's see. I like the SP3 animation. We now have the 2 prowesses. We're going straight in. We're going to dive forward to capture the prowess that comes from after the channeling. We'll dive forward again. All of these are unblockable. You can see why a power back boost would be so incredible and so powerful. I mean, this fight would be done by now. And then we're going to go back in and recycle it. So getting back the channeling charges, which we can get through through holding our heavy. Another thing that I'm not able to really showcase this in this video, at least not that well, but you will see it save me a few times, and I think that's important, is the falter. You saw it right there. So he also has the falter mechanic, and that resets on a 20-second timer once it's been triggered. But you can decrease that timer by evading back. It's kind of like building poise with Spider-Man Stark. So you see, even without the power boost, even without, I think, perfect play there, how quickly that fight went, and the amount of power and damage he can dish out. Then, one of my favorite places to test evade counters is in the 6.4.2 Footloose. This even punishes you for allowing a champion to evade. We are using the parry and charge method, but you see we now have that vigilance charge or passive on us, meaning Spider-Man cannot evade. You're going to see that evade failed wording pop up. It's going to pop up a lot. But keep an eye on it. It shows you just how often he's preventing the evade. I like this one because you also have to deal with the unstoppable. Obviously, Professor X does not have a mechanic that allows you to deal with unstoppable. So I wanted to make it a bit more challenging, right? Like you just take in a champ with a built-in evade counter and then take him on an evade lane. It's like, okay, that's not really that surprising. I'm glad it worked. But so I wanted to add something on. This is why I like this lane for evade counters is I want to make it more challenging. I want to see if when Kabam throws more things at us, can this champ still hold up? And the fact of the matter is, yeah, look at this. This is incredible. This is a lane where you can stun. And so that does allow you to ramp up the channeling charges of Professor X quite a bit more easily. As you see, we got to 100 already. I do think that's where the dupe will help because they will, I think it's a double increase on the way to 75. And then I do also think this is where the falter mechanic and then also just knowing spacing. And we're seeing that a lot, especially with these Mystics. I love Mystic. They're my favorite, and Mutants quickly becoming my favorite. With these recent Mutants, knowing spacing and your heavy is becoming more and more a priority. If you haven't seen the video we just did on Cable, you've got to check it out. I will also link that. He is destroying lab fights. The amount of damage you can do, it's insane. I already liked Cable as it was. He's definitely going to get a promotion in the next champion rankings. It's just a matter of how high do we take him. I don't want to overdo it because I'm excited. It's a beautiful thing. But if you know how to do the spacing with the heavies, you see it here, we're parrying, so we're able to charge up and get to that 100. But if you can't parry, I think you can still use this, and this is where that falter mechanic will allow you to charge your heavy even more quickly and get yourself up to the 100, and then now you've got your evade counter. Another thing I'd like to point out is the block. Did you see all the evade failed there? And then we're going to go in. This should end the fight. Another thing I'd like to point out is the block proficiency on Professor X. Just from looking at him, you would expect him to take a lot of damage. His health pool is not large, but I found his block proficiency to be excellent. I am running, I believe, in at least one of these fights. You see that I have... No, I don't. In the previous lane, I did have Guardian, so that's increased block proficiency, but I thought I recalled taking him out so I could test the block proficiency of Professor X on his own, and you're seeing how well he's holding up. This is X 6.4. This is the attack value. This is the one, right? So it's showing you how well he's holding up and how easily he's going to handle this Nightcrawler. You saw the falter mechanic come in there and save me as I'm trying to channel and get to the 100 so the mind control can do what it needs to do when I throw my special. I'm very excited about this champion. Again, I don't want to go overboard. I'm sure there are weaknesses. He he does clearly benefit so many other champions. He fits in extremely well with synergy teams that I already liked. I don't know. I think that his SIG ability, I think, is more than just nice. I don't think it's vital. I think if you were able to pull him, I think you're going to be able to do some great things with him. A lot of the utility that he brings to the table is already present. I think that the SIG ability will increase your damage. I wish I was on that CCP server. I would take him to SIG 200 to get a look at just how much that does increase those powers. But I'm not, and that's okay. Because I can see that even without that, he is doing excellent damage. One of the things I wanted to point out, we pointed out earlier in the video, is that he has now won a fight. So he has 2 of those Cerebro charges, which not only increase the potency of his synergies, but it's going to allow him to now come out of this SP3 with 2 prowesses. And then let's just take a look at the damage he can do. Again, I'm dashing forward as a way of getting those extra prowesses, and then if and when I need to reset them, I will come out of the channeling by dashing backwards. See, I went backwards there, which refreshes the prowesses, because obviously the hope is that you're building the prowesses. You don't want them falling off. We've lost our evade counter there because we were under 25 channeling charges, but you saw how quickly and how easily we were able to get back up to it. Again, Nightcrawler is not going to be able to evade. I'd like to again point out the amount of health we still have despite all the parrying we're doing, and then we're about to come in for the big damage. You saw how few of those crit, and yet the amount of damage they still did. Getting back up to the 100 so we can have the mind control when we throw our special. So if you've made it this far, of course, we'll still answer the questions when they come up on the comment section when I see them. I don't know. I'm not sure how great I think he is. Right now, I'm really feeling like super premium is a safe place, probably at the bottom of that. I want to be sure before we just throw a champion up any higher. I think he doesn't need synergies for himself to be great. He's just great on his own. And I think he makes everyone else so much better. And the thing is, the champions he makes better are champions that are already good. I really like this guy and can't wait to test him more. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on Twitter at VegaGaming583. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.